we have choices. Hi everybody, this is Helen Cernigliaro with Positive Space, and my guest tonight is Marie Freeman.
Hi everyone.
This show is going to be about breast cancer, and I know it sounds like a kind of an oxymoron, positive space and breast cancer going together, but when I was first diagnosed with breast cancer, and Marie is a survivor as well, I decided I wanted to talk to a show about what breast cancer is not. And you can be a survivor, you can live with breast cancer, and when we were first diagnosed, as I said, Marie was diagnosed 5 years ago. I was diagnosed 2 years ago. We met it head on with determination, resolve, and we were just going to be fierce and go for it and come out the other side victorious, and we have. Marie is the co-founder and co-publisher for Long Island Bride and Groom website, and she is also a realtor for Keller Williams, and she is also one of my dearest friends in the world. Now, as I said, 5-year survivor, 2-year survivor, and the first question I want to ask you is, how did you feel when you were first diagnosed, and how did they find the cancer? 2 questions.
It was found during my annual mammogram and sonogram.
Okay.
And when I found out that it was breast cancer, my family was like, first, why? Why me? That was, you know, how could this have happened? And obviously, I was afraid and scared. What was next? What was I going to go through? What stage was it? You know, all those things were running through my mind. So that's really how I felt. I wasn't sure what to do, and I just started crying because when I was diagnosed, I didn't think anything was going to happen. It was my annual, so I was like, yeah, I'll be in and out. And then I was like,
don't you think that?
And then I was like, oh my God, he's like, the doctor wants to see you. And I'm like, oh no, that means something.
That's when, also when you get the mammogram and sonogram, they say, we're just going to take another picture, and you just go, oh no, what now?
And I'm sure every woman knows what we're talking about.
Absolutely. So what did you do? Now, I know how you felt, but what did you do?
Called my husband.
Okay.
Called you.
Yes, you did. Yes.
You're like, I'll be right over.
Yes, I remember. And the same thing happened. As I said, we've known each other for so long. When I was diagnosed, I called Marie. You were there within an hour. Yeah. Within an hour.
I would have called my mom, but she was no longer around, so
yes,
that would have been someone I would have called.
Okay. Is there a history of breast cancer in your family?
No.
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 So
not at all.
What do you think might have caused this?
Mine was estrogen produced.
Mine too. Yeah.
So, you know, there's so many theories out there. I feel during that time of my life, I was going through a lot of stress.
You think stress could have caused it?
I think so. I think a lot of stress. Diet. I think my definitely diet.
Oh, we can't talk about that yet.
But no, definitely stress.
Okay.
And so that, you know, at that time I was going through taking care of my mom, my job, just, you know, a lot of things going on in my life. And I think I was at a stage where my hormones were going haywire, and I think that was another reason. But do they really know? No.
What stage were you diagnosed with?
When I finally found out after surgery, it was stage 1A.
So you were very lucky.
Very lucky. They caught it early. The cancer did not spread to any lymph nodes, so that was another reason why I was able to avoid radiation and chemo. Well,
the interesting thing for me is when I was first diagnosed with it, it was stage 1. But because what had happened when I was going to go for my biopsy, my excisional biopsy, this happened during COVID, and what happened was the excisional biopsy was canceled because it was considered elective surgery. And that being said, over those 2 months, I had an aggressive cancer, HER2 triple positive, and it went to my one lymph node. And then when it went to the lymph nodes, then we, instead of just surgery, I had to have chemotherapy, radiation, and I'm still going for physical therapy take care of my shoulder because my shoulder's a little out of whack from the radiation. So you have a support system. You had me, you had Stu. Did you tell people right away?
No, because a lot of times when you tell people that you have cancer, the way they treat you they change a little bit. Like they're
A little afraid of you?
Afraid, or they don't know what stage, and they don't want to ask you, is it something that could be treated?
Mm-hmm.
You know, is this something that's treatable, or are you going to, you know?
Do you know what I hate when people would say, I hope it works out, I hope. Because for me, I don't know about you, but for me, I hope implies doubt. And when I decided to go full tilt that, okay, let's get on with it, let's go, that I'm not putting any doubt in, you know, to this whole saga that I had to go through. So what did you think about that when somebody says, I hope it works out? How did it make you feel?
I didn't really, it didn't bother me because
Really?
because I knew that people just don't know how to react. And, you know, I would let them know, it's okay to talk about it. You know, I would let them know, don't worry, I'll be fine. I'm going to get through this. I'm going to do whatever the doctors say. And, you know, and I'm also a very big believer in God above. So I did a lot of praying and I felt that he was a big part in my survival, was my faith.
Who was hardest to tell?
I think my husband.
Okay.
You know, because, you know, I think it was difficult because when you're diagnosed, you're not the same woman that you were before you were diagnosed with cancer. And I think it was hard for my husband to not deal with it, but you change because you want to start taking care of yourself and realize that this could be it. You might only have, you don't know yet until the final stage after surgery, so you think the worst. So I think that was the one person that was difficult to tell.
I kept it very close to the vest. I just told my inner circle, you and, you know, my other, you know, very close friends. The hardest part was telling my family, telling my brother. That was rough because they were so far away, and to take a deep breath and just say, hi, how are you? By the way, I have breast cancer. It was hard to do.
I can just imagine.
And I felt bad for them because they couldn't be with me. They couldn't fly up. But as I said, you know,
well, that was during COVID, right?
It was during COVID, and you picked up a lot of the slack. And your treatment was just not just surgery, just surgery. I don't mean it like that. Just surgery, but you had 2 surgeries, and now part of your treatment process is you are on an immunotherapy drug?
Letrozole for 5 years. This month will be, the end of this month will be my last month for...
Yeah,
I know, I'm so excited.
Oh, come on, fist bump. There we go. Yeah,
I'm
that's
so excited.
Awesome. That's wonderful. Yeah.
I am kind of nervous about that because you're always looking over your shoulder, and I'm like, okay, what if?
Yeah.
I'm going to go off of this. You know, you ask the doctor, okay, if I was on it for 5 years and now all of a sudden I'm stopping, what does that mean, you know? And then she reassures me that based on my numbers and everything like that, my reoccurrence will be very low. But you always are like, I hope so.
Well, what would you do if it came back? What if?
What could I do? I would have to just deal with it. I mean, what can you do?
I love that.
What can you do?
I love that you say you'll deal with it because I remember while I was at physical
therapy.
It. Well, true, but you know that's a really rough thing. If you're talking to somebody that has breast cancer and you know you're saying, yeah, life is good, but they said, well, what if it comes back? And because now at this point, I have decided that I will deal with it. Because I'm not afraid anymore because that put me in a whole different light and saying, oh my gosh, it'll kill me or something like that. It's like you'll deal with it.
Right.
And that felt really good. Because some people's journeys could be different from what we're talking about. And I have often thought that as I go forward with this show and I talk to people about this and they do a what if moment, the right thing to say is you will deal with it. Because I never want to talk, be flippant about somebody that's going through something like that, because I have had that fear in my heart, boy, some sleepless nights, because even though we're positive thinkers and we have our own podcast and we talk about positivity, there's still some times where you just
believe
get
me, there were
paralyzed.
moments I was in
Yeah.
the shower alone, crying,
Yeah,
going,
of course.
why me? You sometimes have that, why me? I did everything right. I thought I was healthy.
Well,
why did this happen to me?
That's funny that you say that, because I know you are a vegetarian now, right?
Pescatarian.
Pescatarian?
I will eat,
Okay.
I avoid red meat and
Okay.
meat in
red
general.
meat. Okay. Now, the thing is beforehand, before you got the breast cancer, you were not, you weren't a pescatarian.
No. I did
Yeah.
a lot of research, and most of the women that have written these books that have survived cancer and have no reoccurrence, most of them have changed their diet to a plant-based diet.
Okay.
And definitely exercising and taking care of themselves and realizing that you can't be a superwoman.
Well,
know,
that's the
that's
stress
it.
part. That's the stress where the
Yeah.
stress comes in. But as far as my eating goes, I am a work in progress. One day I'll eat really healthy. The next day it's bacon cheeseburgers and I'll have water instead of a Coke or something like that. But I try. I mean, I try. I'm not perfect.
Everybody
Nobody's
has
perfect.
to know
so
what works for them.
I do try. I do. Were there any obstacles that were during your treatment process that kind of you felt like held you back at all?
In the beginning, when I never knew this, but when they do a biopsy, they put markers, and those markers stay in your breasts. And I did not want that, and I didn't know that that's what they do. And I don't know if a lot of women know that, but those markers will stay in, even if they don't find breast cancer. Those markers will stay in you.
I have 2 titanium markers in one of the girls. I don't know.
And I never
anymore.
knew that, and I questioned the doctors about that.
What'd they
because,
say?
You know, they put it in so that if there is something, it marks the area of where the cancer is.
Okay.
But I said, what if it's not cancer? Then those markers are in me. And you know me, I don't like anything foreign or
Yes,
anything. I'm very
I
like
understand.
organic, and all
Yes.
that kind of stuff.
Organic, yes. Yes, you eat very healthy, I have to say.
I try
you really
to.
do. I eat beans now because of Marie, so I just love our beans. Okay. How was this a wake-up call for you?
Well, it made me realize that I have to start taking care of myself, maybe do things that I always wanted to do in my life, and focus a little bit on me, not being selfish, but realize, no, I was always doing things for other people and not for me. So
Okay.
That's where I think the difference came in with people saying, oh, you're not the same person, you know, because I wouldn't always say yes.
Did you find when you told people that some people stepped up and some people didn't? And some people, for me, it was heartbreaking. I had a couple friends that disappeared. And talk about a learning lesson. And then some, like you, Eileen, Susan, Deirdre, Deb, were blessings. Because those nights, since I was by myself, I could pick up the phone and just blurt out, I'm scared, and something like that, because you understood. Right. And nobody knew except my inner circle and my family. And I never got sick once. I never got sick. And oncology nurses are the most amazing people in the world when they give you a tip to pay attention and just listen to them. Because one of the nurses
They're
said,
godsend.
they are. Because when I was getting the chemo, and I got four, I call them my vitamins, actually. And when I first got started, I got 4 sets of drug: Herceptin, Perjeta, carboplatin, and Taxotere. So they said the second you feel queasy, the very second, take a Compazine. And I listened to them. And I had a year of chemotherapy, and I didn't get sick once, not once.
How long is the chemo? Like, how long are you there for during the chemo?
The first time was 6 hours.
So what did they do? Were they
just go? They went. I have the veins a vampire that would make a vampire weep, and I just they
You
popped
didn't have
it in
the
there.
port, so
no,
they did
I
it
did
through-
not get the port. But it's been quite a journey, and quite a journey for you. And I appreciate you being here, Marie.
thank you.
You are amazing, and thank you for being there for me. I really do appreciate it. Now I can't believe it. Now I'm going to cry. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for listening, and we will see you next week. Take care. See you soon.